Hello and welcome back to the vlog. My name is Kristi. We are taking the woo-woo out of manifesting. We are starting off strong with a manifesting success story. Crossing my fingers. It's not in my hands yet, but it will be. So a couple vlogs ago, I went to Target to get the Onyx Storm Target exclusive version and they did not have it. I was pretty grumpy about that at the time and wasn't sure if I really even wanted to bother trying to manifest that I would get it. But during that vlog, in the course of filming that vlog, it already came out that they were going to restock it at the beginning of February. And so I was like, well, I mean, the manifestation already happened. So here it is now. We're at the beginning of February. It's February 2nd. And I'm going to go into Target. I'm going to take you with me and we're going to see if it's there. The Target app says that my Target has limited quantities, so I'm gonna go and try and snag it. If it doesn't have it at my Target, there is another Target sort of nearby that doesn't say there's limited quantities, it just says it's in stock. So then I'll go to the other one because I do still want it. Taylor Swift and the Empyrean series, Fourth Wing series are kind of the only things I really fangirl about, although a little bit Squid Game right now because I'm obsessed with Player 120. But yeah, so I'm gonna go inside Target and see if we can snag that. I am barefaced today, so today we need to do lashes, but also I want to microneedle my face, so I'm gonna do that with you. I feel like we need to just call this like manifesting and skincare channel because that's basically what I do with you guys, manifesting and skincare. So I'm gonna microneedle my face today. We're gonna go into Target, we're gonna see if we can grab Onyx Storm, and then we'll carry on with our day. All right, see you in there. Okay, so I'm not seeing the Target edition of Onyx Storm, but I am gonna snag the Eras Tour book. I was on the fence about whether or not I wanted this, but I did get to go to the Eras Tour and they don't have tour programs, which I totally would have bought if there was a tour program, but there was not. So I'm gonna snag the book, and in all of its imperfections, I'm excited about that. So we're gonna go to the other Target and see if they have Onyx Storm, but this Target only has like the regular limited edition and then the non-Target special edition. So yeah, we're gonna check the other one. I think the Target app lied, maybe? Rude of them to advertise. Hi, this is Kristi from the future, Kristi editing Kristi, and apparently all of the clips that I took in my car from that Target to Target run did not record any sound for some reason. So I wanted to just briefly tell you what I was telling you in the car. So when it comes to disappointment in the 3D, I covered this the first time that Onyx Storm was not in Target. I don't give a fuck what the 3D looks like. I am brazenly impudent at this point because I'm pissed at the whole Target situation. Target exclusive editions are not limited. They are not limited editions. I don't know what the fuck is happening with this Target situation, but not in my fucking reality. So this is how you can choose to approach disappointments in the 3D. Brazen impudence. No, I don't have it in my hands right now in this very moment, but it will be in my hands. There is no planet on which I do not get this Target exclusive edition. It will be mine. I don't know when, I don't know how, and I do not care, but I do not accept that the 3D is not going to give it to me. Do I accept that I don't have it in my hands right now? Yes. I also choose to believe that it's working out perfectly for me and I will have it, and there is no doubt that I will have it. Why don't I have it right now? I don't know. I don't care. That's not my business. But what is my business is resting in confidence that that shit will be mine somehow, some way. I don't know how, and I do not care. I don't care when. It will be on my bookshelf. So you have to adopt a child's petulance against nonsense that you see in the 3D, because it does not reflect your final outcome whatsoever unless you decide it does. Because I could choose to be like, all right, I've been to Target 3 times, like I've been once and then to 2 different stores on the second time. Obviously, I'm not gonna get this. There just aren't enough copies and the resellers all got them and la 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 la. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole, and neither are you. Whatever you want in your 3D, if you don't have your hands on it right now, or if it's not making itself visible to you right now, the how, when, where, and why of that are none of your business. All you need to do is go within and decide it's yours. Period. It's mine. There is no planet on which I do not get this book. That's all I know to say about it. I am giving 2 big middle fingers to the 3D right now because I refuse to accept that this is final. So I will have the book. I don't know when, but I will tell you when I get it. And this is how you have to approach disappointment in your 3D reality. Okay, on with the show. All right, I'm back home and we are gonna chat while I microneedle my face. So this morning I wanted to talk about like jobs and manifesting the jobs that you want and having a successful job interview. This morning I had an audition. I'm a musician. I've been a professional musician for the last 20 plus years. And this morning I had an audition. So before I go too far, first thing I'm gonna do before I microneedle is I'm gonna numb my face. And everything that I'm using for this procedure is something that I have bought over the counter. Like nothing is prescription or like you need a medical license or anything. And this is in no way a tutorial on how to microneedle your face or whether you should microneedle your face, but I would just be curious if it was me watching. So I'm gonna tell you what I use. So I use 5% lidocaine. I get this one on Amazon. It's a big honkin' packet of it, and that way I don't have to be stingy with my application. And I'm gonna be using the viewfinder as my mirror because the way that things are situated in my bathroom, I can't talk to you and look in the mirror, so we're gonna use you as my mirror. So this morning I had an audition. There is a subset of the Commander's Marching Band that is called the Command Band, and I was in it this year, but they did not do formal, I am generous with my lidocaine. They did not do formal auditions for that. They just kind of took everybody's general audition and selected the best people to be in the Command Band. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna do my lips too. So it is safe to microneedle your lips, just most times people don't. So they wanted to do new auditions for the coming season. So I had an audition this morning. I won't find out how the audition went. I won't get the results until sometime in March because they have more rounds of auditions to do. But I would say in years that I've been a working and gigging musician, I have probably I can't think of an audition that I've taken that I didn't get the spot. And part of that has to do with me having a little discretion on my part. Like I know where my gifts are and I know like what I'm good at. So I don't audition for things that like I probably wouldn't win, but I have won every single audition that I've gone out for. Have I always played amazingly during the audition? No, I do not always play up to my level of standards. Sometimes sometimes I just don't. Same thing with job interviews. I've gotten every single job I've interviewed for since I learned about the law of assumption 4 years ago. And so I want to share with you how I will be microneedling my eyebrows also because I'm a victim of the 90s and I overplucked my eyebrows as a child. I remember I'm a PA. I used to work in hair transplant surgery. I used to do this for a living. So personally, I don't feel the need to wash my face before I put on the numbing because I'm just gonna wash my face and disinfect it later with alcohol. So there's no point in irritating the skin that much. I'm just putting on the numbing cream and then I'm gonna let it sit for a little while I chat with you, and I'm gonna wash it off of my gloves and reuse the gloves. I have gotten jobs that I am not qualified for, meaning I don't meet whatever qualifications they list. Obviously, if it's a medical job, I'm qualified by my license and certification. They may have that they want, 10 years of experience or something. They prefer some sort of whatever training. I have always gotten jobs that I am quote unquote not qualified for, which honestly just leads me to think that most of what they put on a job application that they want is BS anyway. So the way that I manifest this for myself is, number one, I always leave out my own performance. So I don't manifest for me having a good performance whatsoever, because to me that builds pressure, trying to say oh, I do a great interview. My brain will come up with all sorts of objections Or like if I say like, I'm gonna play perfectly in this audition, like my brain will come up with all sorts of objections, and that feels stressful. If that doesn't feel stressful for you to be like, I aced the interview, then go for it. But for me, I always take the pressure off myself from my own performance. Like I practice, I prepare, I do everything right so that I can have the best possible performance in either the audition or the job interview. But when it actually comes down to manifesting for winning the position or the audition, I don't keep the focus on me, like zero whatsoever. The only thing that I do is I say, no matter how I play or how I interview, I'm the best of everyone that shows up, period. Like, however I do, it's still gonna be the best and it's still gonna get me the job. And that has been a fantastic way to manifest success, because then it takes the pressure off me to be like, I have to be perfect in the audition, otherwise, you know, somebody else will be perfect. Also, no one's perfect in auditions, but, you know, if I take the pressure off of my own performance and just say, it's kind of like my I'm the hottest in the room manifestation, like my affirmations, like whatever room I'm in, I'm the hottest in there. And it's the same thing, like whatever room, like whatever pool of applicants I'm in, I'm the top applicant, no matter what. Whatever pool of musicians I am competing against for this spot, this audition, no matter how I play, I'm gonna come out on top. And I have not lost an audition or a job interview in years. All right, I'm starting to feel good and numb, so I'm gonna pause here and I'm gonna wash my face and then we will carry on. All right, I washed it all off my face. My face is feeling nice and numb. Next step requires alcohol. Where are my alcohol pads? I got one alcohol pad. I thought I had more. I'm gonna go grab an alcohol pad. Hang tight. Alcohol. All right, so again, using you as a mirror. Infecting. There is a very, 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 very low risk of infection with microneedling, but it's still good to take precautions. And these are new gloves also. I had been really consistent about microneedling in 2023, and then in 2024, I just got a little bit like lazy about it, because probably takes me about an hour from start to finish. And that is a time commitment of itself. And then afterwards, my face is a little bit like tender and a little bit sensitive for about a day or two. So I kind of have to time it right, make sure I'm not gonna be out in the sun too much, or like make sure I don't need to wear makeup right after. So it's a little bit of like a finicky process. So I got a little bit inconsistent with doing it, but that's all right. We're getting back into it. All right, so I'm gonna get all my supplies together and we're gonna start soon. So I use the Dr. Pen, the model number. Dr. Pen makes so many different ones. What is the model number on this one? I don't remember. I wanna say like M8 or something, but that's literally just pulling letters out of my butt. But this is the one. I will find it and link it in the description. The reason I chose this one is because you can adjust the like power and then also the depth. And that's, if you're gonna do this, which again, I'm not recommending, if you're gonna do this, that's the closest thing to what the microneedle pen was that I used in the clinic, was that it had the option to adjust the power and the depth. And then this is the needle, so I use fresh needle every time. I do not reuse. It's one thing that like seems a little sketch to me about these like derma roller devices. I don't know, when I worked at the hair transplant clinic, I would see people come in, like my patients would come in, they had been using a derma roller for their scalp, and I just honestly, I don't trust that people keep it clean enough, because I would see folliculitis in the scalp so frequently because they were using a derma roller. So with the Dr. Pen, it has this is where the needles are, and it has this lovely cap so that you don't accidentally hurt yourself. And it just pushes in and then you turn it to lock it in place. And I'm gonna leave the cap on until I'm like actually ready to start microneedling my face, just for sterilization purposes. And then in order to provide some slip for the microneedle, I'm using hyaluronic acid. There are so many things that you can use, but hyaluronic acid is, I think, just the safest bet. I am gonna be running out of this pretty soon. If I run out on today's, I'll probably just use the snail mucin that I have, the CosRx snail mucin, because really this is just to provide slip for the microneedle to travel across your face. So, all right, I'm gonna take this off now. And I have a little zit here. I'm gonna try and avoid that as best I can. Let's see here. So I'm only touching my face with the pads of my fingers. to try and keep everything as sterile as possible. And then I'm using this part here to adjust the depth of the needles. That way, try to keep things as sterile as possible. All right, here we go. Ooh, she did not get quite as numb as I was expecting. That's okay, we're using a light touch here. We're not digging into the skin. And I like to go over my skin just enough so that it looks like I got a bit of a sunburn. This is not painless, BT dubs. All right, need more slip. Again, touching things with my not pads of my finger here. And the pads of my fingers. Oh, nice, it will let me come up good and close. That's good, I can see better now. And really my concern with going over the zit is that it will naturally transfer zit contents onto the needles, and then that will get like poked into my skin elsewhere, and I'm just not about that life. All right, so you saw me do side to side. I'm gonna go up and down. Honestly, I personally think forehead is the worst of the pain. I think everything else is really mild, but this is not a painless procedure. And I have a scar like right here, and microneedling is great for scar therapy, so I'm spending a little bit more time around that scar, not even on it. I don't know if microneedling is the reason, but I've never gotten like the 11 lines. Like I never have gotten deep wrinkles there. I mean, I do affirm that I'm aging backward, but from a 3D standpoint, that's never been a problem. All right, and then one last round of circles. Again, this is a very light touch. All right, we are done with the forehead. That is enough torture for the forehead. I also microneedle under my under eyes. If you go get microneedling, like they're probably gonna be so much more conservative than I'm willing to be on my own face. And I've looked up studies on both the under eyes and the lips, and it's perfectly safe to microneedle those, but they are very sensitive. So you do need to be mindful. And also I'm not gonna go on my under eyes at the current depth that I have right now because I'm pretty deep, but I will lower the depth and then do like my direct under eyes. How do y'all manifest for winning job interviews? Or if you happen to be a musician, have you used, like what sorts of mindsets do you go into these events with? If it's something good, I'm gonna steal it. But so far, saying that like out of whatever pool of applicants I'm up against, I'm always coming out on top, takes all the pressure off of me and my own performance, and allows me to just do the best I can and trust that my best, even if it's not like up to my personal standard of excellence for whatever reason, like maybe I'm tired that day or maybe whatever, then I still win. Feels a lot more comfortable than trying to like manifest perfection. This particular hyaluronic acid is really thick too. Sometimes they're a lot more watery. This one is really thick. And the residual redness that I have on my face, like my skin is incredible. I had shingles in 2022 on my face. It was both sides of my face and it was absolutely horrendous. And you can get like scars from shingles, like they can persist forever. My skin just has a little bit of lingering redness, which I don't really mind, but I have not don't have smile lines on this side. I do have a smile line on this side. You can kind of see it right there, but nothing on this side. Let me tilt you down, that's better. Let me get more hyaluronic acid. I also like to manifest when I'm doing this skincare routine for myself that the act of microneedling my lips will have a plumping effect. I don't know if science backs that up or not. I don't really care. It's one of those things that I just want to manifest that for myself. Like it's a placebo. I mean, it's all placebo. Anything that you're relying on in the 3D is a placebo. But if you believe in it, then what does that matter? Oh, my lips are not all the way numb. Definitely has a blushing effect for sure. But I mean, why wouldn't it have a plumping effect if I am doing a procedure that boosts collagen production, which is what microneedling does? I should have talked longer with y'all for that lidocaine. It's all good. You want to keep it lubricated enough that it just glides across. There should be no tugging or pulling of your skin whatsoever. When I do my eyebrows, you'll see I actually stamp it because I don't want to risk tugging in the hairline. And when I did this for people's hair regrowth, you stamp it on the scalp. You do not drag it across the scalp like you do the face. Oh, she's spicy. Can't remember why they don't typically microneedle your lips in the office, but I looked up studies to see if there was any danger in it, and there doesn't seem to be. If it's going to stimulate collagen production elsewhere, why wouldn't it also do the same thing in the lips? If you've ever had a microneedle treatment that did include your lips, tell me. So I'm not aware of it being a standard thing that is treated in the office. And then my little smile line here, I like to really go in on the smile line. I want that sucker to have as much collagen and elastin. That's good. Again, you don't need to do anything too crazy in order to see success. I'm only using 1 millimeter on these parts of my face, but I think the microneedle device goes all the way up to 3 or 2.5 or 3. And the 2.5 or 3 would be good for like if you're trying to microneedle scars, to help heal the scars, which is something that is done. I learned that in my plastic surgery rotation. That is an option for scars, which is why I'm microneedling my little scar. Honestly, if I could learn how to do like literally all of the in-office procedures on myself, I do want to learn how to give myself Botox. I have never had Botox. If I could learn how to give myself Botox, I would do that. And I've thought about it. I just need to source the Botox and then buy a CME course to know where exactly to do it and just practice on myself. I work from home 5 days a week, so if I botch it, it's pretty minimal consequences. All right, now we're just gonna do some circles to get everything nice and good. All right, I think we're good on that front. Now we're gonna change the depth and do my under eyes and a little bit tighter in on my nose. Not that like the situation on my nose is really bad, but just a little help. So I'm gonna do 0.5 on my under eyes. When I first started doing my under eyes, I did 0.25, but now I can handle 0.5. Okay. Now you do have some nerves here that you have to be a little bit careful of. Again, this is not a tutorial and I am not recommending you do this at home. I'm just taking you along with me because I love watching people do their skincare. So I pull down just a little and I don't press very hard. I don't really have crow's feet either. My skin has aged so nicely. I attribute that to my affirmations and my skincare routine. I used to think drinking a lot of water had something to do with it too, because I am always drinking water, but that was actually debunked. Drinking a lot of water doesn't necessarily do much for your skin. And then one more time over here. We're gonna do my eyebrows and then we're gonna move on to the neck. Is easy peasy. I mean, it's all pretty easy peasy with the exception of the forehead. I think the forehead is for me, the forehead is the most tender spot. And I guess we'll do a little bit on the nose. I'm gonna crank it up for the forehead though. Go back to 1. I mean, for the eyebrows. Right. This is under my eyebrow here. And then on my eyebrow, stamp. Whew. She smarts. Okay, so under the eyebrow, where there is not hair, the middle here, and then eyebrow stamp. All right, time for the neck. We almost done. I actually think if I take you along for eyelashes, it's gonna be too long of a vlog. I've been trying to keep them under 30 minutes to see if that is what my audience prefers. Now the skin on my neck is a little sensitive, especially during the winter, so I'm gonna treat her real nice after this. I do go in pretty hardcore on these deeper wrinkles here. Give them a little extra attention. Okay, that is plenty for the neck. She's sensitive. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wash the hyaluronic off my face. This particular hyaluronic acid, like, it dries almost like you would imagine like glue would dry. Like it dries stiff. So I'm gonna wipe that off. Need a new clean towel because my skin is slightly traumatized. I'm not going in with any sort of like soap or anything, just a clean, fresh, clean skin towel to wipe the hyaluronic acid off. It felt good doing this. Like I probably have not microneedled my face since last March or something like that. It's best if you do it once a month for 3 or 4 months at least, and then you can not do it after that if you like. That's what the minimum effective dose is. Looking a little bit like I have a sunburn, and that's kind of the effect that you want. I'm going to get my snail mucin and coat my face. All right, and this is gonna feel so good after that. A hug. I'm gonna let that chill on there for a little bit. And then what should I do? Oh, my battery's about to die, hang on. So this is right after. Skin's just a little bit angry. My snail mucin has been soaked right in. I'm actually gonna go in with another light layer of it because it feels so good. And then last thing I'm gonna use is Vanny cream, just regular old moisturizing cream. I want the moisturizer, but I don't want one of my fancy moisturizers that has a whole bunch of mess in it. I just want something simple. This is for sensitive skin. I've used this in the past. It feels nice, and it has petrolatum in it, which is going to protect my skin barrier that has been traumatized in the process of doing this. So if I didn't use Vanny cream, I would use Aquaphor. Let's see if this much will be enough. Oh God, that feels good. Oh, it feels so nice. So my face will probably feel sunburned for a day or two, and I'll just stay at home. This was too much Vanny cream. It'll soak in. Oh, Princess Treatment Diaries update. Boo Bear is still doing the most. He dropped off a care package to say good luck before my audition last night, and I told him that I wouldn't see him because like I was looking like a troll. I mean, I never look like a troll, but you know, I wasn't showered, I wasn't prepared. And he was like, no problem, I'll just drop it off at the office. So he left it with concierge, and I went up and picked it up. He got me dog treats for the dogs, which is very thoughtful, and sweet treats for me, which I didn't love that choice because obviously I'm on a weight loss journey, and what am I gonna do with a bunch of sweet treats around the house? So I brought them to the audition and shared them with my colleagues, and they liked that this morning. And when I say sweet treats, he bought me a whole like big thing of Oreos, a few bags of Reese's Pieces, and a box of 4 donuts. I'm like, bro, we're gonna have to improve your care package choices, but I love the care packages. All right, see, that's soaking in nicely. All right, so this is my skin right after microneedling. Honestly, like, I could not be happier with my skin at age 40, and I am just trying to keep it as nice as possible, as youthful as possible. I'm not anti-aging, I just want to age slowly and gracefully. So I try to live a lifestyle and say affirmations that are supportive of that. All right, I think doing lashes on this vlog is gonna be too long of a vlog, but We'll do lashes again together. Thank you so much for watching. Today we talked about manifesting for a job or an audition. If there is a particular topic related to manifesting and law of assumption that you want to discuss, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to discuss it with you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you got benefit out of this video, and I know that you did, please do like, comment, share, subscribe so that YouTube knows it's valuable and they will send it out to more people. So thanks for hanging out for the manifesting and skincare. I will see you in the next one. Bye.